Hello, welcome to my YouTube site. My name is Keith Wilcock. I'm a yoga student of many, many years. I'm also a psychologist, and I've worked for many years in alternative programs and practices of healing the mind. Today, I'd like to share with you a very simple practice for relaxation and meditation. I've called it a meditation for all seasons. And of course, in the time that we are now with the virus spreading everywhere, people are in states of anxiety, depression, have many problems, practical problems, but the biggest problems are the inner problems. So it's very important that we have practices to strengthen the inner self and to be in touch with our true selves, with our true nature, and not lost in the things around us that create a great deal of anxiety for us. So I hope that this little meditation can be helpful. And like everything in life, if you want to get better at meditation or at finding your inner self, you have to practice. You have to work hard. So if you like it, practice it. I'm going to go through it with a short explanation first, and then I'm going to do the practice with you so that we can share it together. So the first part of the relaxation is to make a strong exhalation through the mouth. So it would be like this, with a sound if you can. That's followed by an inhalation, obviously, through the nose. So we inhale through the nose, and we hold the breath and tense the body. So you can make fists with the hands, you can tense the face, you can tense all the body parts down to the feet, and feel that inside you're also tensing. So we're going to do that. First, the exhalation. Inhalation through the nose. Tense, tense, tense. And you hold it for as long as is comfortable. Then you release again through the mouth. And you repeat, inhaling through the nose, tensing the body, holding it, and then releasing again through the mouth. And you continue that sequence. You should do that quite a few times. What it does is begins to de-stress the body. And if we de-stress the body, we have a positive impact of de-stressing the mind. So it's a preparation for going into a deeper state of relaxation. Now from there, once we have done that practice of tensing and relaxing, we want to be sure that we're breathing in the lower part of the belly, not in the chest. We're almost all chest breathers. We tend to breathe up here, so we breathe like this. And so this all rises, and this causes more tension and doesn't help the breathing. And when we get some kind of emergency, right away what we do is we'll make this tense movement with our bodies, and then the breath is all locked in here. It's a very shallow breath. We have no energy. We can even go into fainting spells and things because there's no circulation in the body. That's what happens when we have a crisis, various types of crisis. So we want to practice with this breathing, what I call belly breathing. It's the yoga breath, where you simply, the belly rises when you inhale. So we're just going to practice that now. You inhale, you can put your hand on your belly and your hand rises. When you exhale, to learn the practice, push your hand in. The belly goes in. You inhale, belly comes out. And so you continue. And that practice you can do anytime, just that practice. You can do that at night when you want to go to sleep. It'll help you a lot because it'll take the energy out of the head and down into the body, and you'll be able to find that your head and your mind will be clearer, more relaxed. You'll be less busy in the head. So that in itself is good practice. It's not easy really to learn because we're so used to breathing here. We also have a diaphragm that is generally very tense and which prevents us from breathing in the belly. So we need to work with this gently and slowly so that the diaphragm becomes freer and the breath is flowing. The breath is the key to life, obviously. When you were born, breath came into your body. In yoga, we call that prana, life energy. You have a certain supply, I have a certain supply. We want to make the best use of prana. We want it to circulate in our body and in our mind. When we get tense and stressed, it doesn't circulate. It blocks somewhere, and we can find the blocks and we can release the blocks. But this very simple practice can help you just to get the breath flowing and to relax. So you separately, you can practice this belly breathing. Inhaling, the belly rises, and then it goes in as you relax. The breath should support all functions in the body. Breathing is the most important thing. To breathe correctly is probably the most important thing that we ever learn. All kids should be taught how to breathe. In yoga, there's a posture called Shavasana, which is also in English called the death pose, and it's lying flat on the floor. The arms are out 45 degrees, the legs are a little bit open, and that's the posture where we practice this breath. And as we settle into ourselves, we are really circulating energy through the whole body. We get up, we feel relaxed, and we also feel energized. So those are the introductory things that I wanted to say. There'll be a few more guidances as we go through this short practice. So now we're going to start. And I think that with this little introduction, you can do it with your eyes closed if you'd like to have your eyes open so you can watch me and learn it. But once you've learned it, do it with your eyes closed, because just closing the eyes takes us into a different state. That's why we lie down to rest, we close our eyes. We want to close off the sensory world. We want to go inside. And if we go inside to the breath, we're actually going deep into the initial steps of discovering who we really are. As the Tibetans say, we want to find the breath within the breath. It took me many, many years to even begin to understand that phrase, the breath within the breath. But as you do this little practice, you can begin to feel that and to sense that. So now you're breathing deeply through your nose, and you begin to visualize or think of this light in your third eye. Continue the breathing. And you can adjust the time. You do this for a few seconds. You do this for a minute or two. You do this for 3 minutes, how long you want to, but maintain the focus. If your mind wanders, which it will, you simply bring it back to the breathing and bring it back to the focus on the light. If you feel that it's just all over the place, then you need to bring the meditation to an end. So it's a practice in concentration, part of it. Relaxation, concentration, controlling the mind and putting the mind to work. So now you have the breathing, you have the light. Now we're going to hear a sound, which is this sound. So here we have the sound of Om, the sound of Amen, the sound of creation, and the sound of the beginning, the Alpha and the Omega. So now we're going to just hear that sound of Om, the sound of the air passing, if you like, the sound of the movement, the currents of air around your body, that also is Om. So now you have the breathing, the light, and the sound of Om, and you simply maintain that for a few minutes. Allow the Om to accompany your breath. So as you breathe in, it's Ah. As you breathe out, it's Om. As you breathe in, it's Ah. As you breathe out, it's Om. And you can continue that as long as you like. Now we have the breath, we have the light, we have the sound. Now we're going to just, at the end of the exhalation, we're going to pause. So we're going to breathe out. We don't have to adjust the light. We don't have to adjust the sound. It's already there. Now, at the end of the exhalation, we're just going to rest for a moment. Just a pause, just a mini pause before we breathe in. When we breathe in, there's going to be a mini pause at the very top of the mountain, so to speak. We breathe out, and there's a mini pause at the end of the exhalation. So these pauses are very important because nothing's happening in the pause. It's just an instantaneous pause, but nothing's happening. And we're not anxious. We're not concerned. We know the other breath is going to come. We know life is in us and will return to us as soon as we breathe in. But it's a very good practice. So now, if you're going to practice on your own, you do this for as long as you like. I recommend 11 minutes, 15 minutes. But if you would like to do it for 3 minutes, that's great. Do what you can. And if you like it, extend the practice each day. If you would like to just do the tense and relax, and then you would like to go directly to the breathing where you're exhaling, pausing for a minute, inhaling, pausing for a minute, you can simply do that part of the practice. So what I'm giving you is an idea. It's a practice that you can adapt to your own needs, the time that you have, how comfortable you feel with different aspects. If you have trouble hearing the sound, then don't do that part. If you don't want to do the light, then don't do that part. The important parts are the stress and relax, and then the part of breathing normally and resting at the end of your exhalation and resting at the top of the inhalation. So let's say that you've practiced this for a few minutes, which you actually have with me. Now we're going to come back to the present. Now, some people will go quite deeply relaxed with this. Other people, it'll be more superficial. With practice, it will be deeper. But we always need to make the decision to come back into our body and into our present world. So just to pause for a moment and think, what is the quality that I want to bring back with me and to put into my life today in some very present activity? Let's say patience. Let's say peace. Let's say compassion. Let's say forgiveness. One word. It'll come to you intuitively right away. Just say, give me that word. Just say to your highest self, give me that word. It'll come right away. So now you have it. You hold it in your heart. You start to travel back. You become aware of your body, the limits of your body, your skin, your clothing, your hair, your eyes. And then you make a little movement with your fingers. And you say, I'm coming back into my body. I'm coming back into my life. And I'm bringing back this sense of calmness, relaxation with me. And I have this quality that I'm going to put into my life today. So here we are, back in time. I hope you stayed with me. Maybe I lost you in a blank space there somewhere. And yes, please send me your comments, positive, negative, things that we can do better. And I will be putting some more, if people like these, I will be putting some more on addressing certain issues like depression and anxiety and talking about some books I have, which you can, there's 2 behind me. You can get them at 3MPUB, Third Millennium Publishing. Go in there, check my name, and you may find some things that interest in you. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to see you again. Om Shanti.